All right, in today's episode, we sit down with Danny Cook, local adventure traveler, photographer. He takes the most amazing photos. Make sure you check out his Instagram. He's going to tell us some of his favorite hiking spots right here in North Idaho and talk about some of his upcoming adventures. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the North Idaho Experience, a podcast for the people of North Idaho and those who are North Idaho curious. These are the stories of those who call North Idaho home. If you're thinking about making North Idaho your home, give our real estate team a call. Danny Cook, welcome to the show.
Howdy.
We met in a strange fashion.
We did.
We were doing a primitive, Dave and I went up and we did a primitive workout in the woods up north. And Danny was there filming us for our other friend Matthew. So
Matt's going to watch this too, and he's going to laugh when I make some commentary on it.
Because you comment about his foot, aren't you?
Comment about his foot and the meat. Let's go.
The meat.
Oh, for sure.
You're welcome,
He actually
Matthew.
did a pretty good job with that, though.
It was. It tasted good.
He did.
Good Lord, Ash.
Dave and I have Dave and I have joked about this a few times because he kept dropping it in the fire, which was hilarious.
Okay.
So yes, it actually tasted really good.
Yeah. So to give a little backstory real quick, so we met Danny. He was up there and he was doing some photography and some videography for this primitive workout we did with Matthew up in
Sagal.
Yeah. No, it was past. It was in Sandpoint.
Dover.
Dover. There we go.
Oh, that's right. We're over the bridge. Yeah.
So
right.
we're up there, and he has, likes to do the natural lifestyle, everything else. I tease Matthew because he runs around barefoot all the time out there, and I'm like, you can wear shoes, you can. But anyways, this primitive workout was a lot of fun, and he cooked us this awesome steak after, I don't know if it was a tri-tip or what it was, but it was phenomenal. It tasted really good. But as he's cooking it, there was a point where it almost came out. Like, Matt, are you purposely dropping that in the fire? I don't understand. There was more ash and dirt on that piece of meat.
I think he was trying to show how that's good for your gut.
I don't know,
dude.
At one point, I'm like, just get rid of the grate. Just put it directly on the. I don't even know. Anyways, it was good.
Shout out to his YouTube channel, Sovereign Sustainability.
Yep.
So he's got some cool stuff out there.
Good dude.
Check him out, Matthew Cubic.
Actually, that barefoot thing, we did a run the other morning.
Yeah.
We ran 7 miles, and he showed up in flip-flops.
He's a savage.
Crazy.
Ran 7 miles in flip-flops.
That is very impressive.
That's good.
It's just Hawaiian roots.
He's a tough dude. He's built for that. That's freaking awesome. So that's how we met. Danny has a big Instagram following.
It's medium.
Okay, I'm gonna call it big because it's bigger than ours.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
How many followers you got?
30 something.
30,000 or something.
Yeah, 30 something. Okay, yeah. He does phenomenal photography, dude.
Thank
I was checking out your Instagram. What's your handle on there?
Handle. Danny.th.cook.
Okay, so check it out, and you'll be blown away. I'm curious about your backstory and how you got into it, and I like what you do now because that's not your day job, right?
No.
You do construction.
No, actually, no. I work for Matthew now, actually.
Okay. Oh,
Yep,
cool. Okay,
full-time.
so we'll
Sales.
dive into that, and then your side hustle is doing the photography and adventure travel type stuff, which is pretty cool.
Well, that's what makes the photography neat. You know, when you say photographer, people are like, what?
Headshots at Walmart, yeah.
Right, but what really gets me about looking at your Instagram is it's not your photography just around here, right? Like you're climbing mountains, you're going camping, you're finding these cool spots. And that's what I think is really neat about it is because anybody can capture some really neat photos and that's great. Like you get good at that. But with the fact that you're like going out, you're to these neat places. Every time I see a photo, that's not only a badass photo. I'm like, where is it?
Right.
I'd love to go there.
That's the goal.
So how'd you get into it?
A long time ago, actually. I started when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
So my sister actually bought a camera and she brought it home with her for Christmas. No, it was actually middle of the summer. And she went out and took like these long exposure shots we'd like get our flashlights and spell our names in the dark. And I just immediately fell in love with it. And also my dad went to college for it, so I kind of had like a touch for it. Mm-hmm. But he never chased it, and I was like, I'm gonna be the one that chases it in my family. So I'm going for it.
That's cool. No, I love it.
I dig that. How old are you now? How long you been?
I'm 22.
Okay, cool.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So you got some time.
Yeah.
A little bit of time.
Half my age.
I know he could literally be one of our sons.
You
Okay.
guys don't seem that old.
No, yeah. Well, we don't seem that old, but we are. Okay. So you were doing construction for a while and doing this on the side. That was what was paying the bills. Because I always liked those. You'd post something of like, you're on an excavator or whatever, and then.
Oh yeah, those reels where I was like doing this to do this.
Yes,
yep.
those were cool. I think that shows, like chasing your passion. It's not it's not like it's a good lesson for kids. You know, you can't just jump right into whatever you want to do necessarily.
Exactly.
You got to be able to pay the bills, meet the baseline, and then go do that thing until you can make it your full-time passion.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So how do you find places to go? Like, how's this process work when you're taking photos?
That's a hard one, actually. I don't know how to explain it. Normally, it's either through Instagram people or magazines or pictures that I see online. But overall, like if I see a photo that I like and I see like a place that, you know, like is inspiring to me, I'll either go on Google Earth and try and find it and then go through the backcountry to try and get there or yeah.
What's the craziest place you've been so far?
Probably Three Fingers Lookout.
Where's that?
So that reel on my video, like that lookout tower on top of the mountain, that
one's pretty
super
iconic.
sketchy.
Where was that at?
So that's like in the Cascades.
Okay.
And it's 40 miles of backcountry up into the mountains, and you literally have to rock climb at the very top. It is super sketchy. Yeah, there's actually a full video on my YouTube channel about that.
Okay.
It's a pretty crazy experience.
Freaking
I'm trying to
rad.
get Matthew to do it, but
So
he's like, I got kids. I don't.
wait, so it's a lookout tower, like for fire lookout?
Yep.
And you have to rock climb at the end to get up
Yep.
to
And
there.
it's free to stay in it too.
That's sketch.
Yeah.
That's because they know nobody's going to go there.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
But that photo is unreal. I know the exact one you're talking about. And you had some drone going there too,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They say you're not supposed to fly drones, but it's not considered like, what is it, national forest?
Oh.
Or is it?
Yeah. It's just
National
a
park
guide.
lands?
It's just a recommendation.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not gonna.
pretty cool.
They're not gonna hike up there to stop it.
So I see you're avid into the wilderness, right? You like
Yep.
going to do that stuff. So do you typically go solo or do you bring somebody with you?
Normally I'm solo. Yeah.
Normally you're solo.
Kind of hard to find people that get time off work as much as I try and do.
Yep. Yep.
That's, it's funny. You go down, I think that's like, I typically don't ever go out solo anywhere just because I get bored.
I do too.
I'm like,
I get lonely.
I need
I get
somebody
lonely
to talk
really
to
easily, dude.
I need a friend.
I might talk to myself sometime.
Okay. So funny you said that because I tell my wife all the time, I talk to myself in my car. She thinks that's weird.
I talk to
know if
myself a
I'm
lot. Yeah.
Depends
all
what
the
you're
time.
talking about. Like, what are you talking about?
Whatever I want to talk about. We always get along.
You just like you ranting about me all the
Oh,
time.
you never fight with yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Freaking Seth checked in with me this morning to make sure I didn't forget about the podcast again. That bastard. Yeah.
All right. So
Oh, has
you've
that
been
happened before?
No. Have you ever
what?
forgotten that we had a
Forgot to
podcast?
show up.
Yeah,
I'm always here, but
think-
you always
I think-
text me. You
I
go, "Hey,
think
do you remember
Eric-
at 9:00 we have a podcast?"
I have to now because I think Eric has, to be honest,
That's-
forgotten. And
that's
then,
Eric.
And then
That's not me.
I just roll solo. Yeah. So I just text everybody now. I reached out to him too. And we're like, coordinating.
Awesome, Danny. Do you post the locations of all these things on there?
Ooh.
Sometimes.
Okay.
It really depends on the location. So if it's like a certain location that already has a bunch of hype, I'll
Yeah.
normally just won't tag it in there just because I don't want to add to it.
Okay.
But if it's like a secret location that is maybe off the beaten path, I'll just sometimes drop a pin because most people aren't going to go out there and try and find it.
Right.
So
So what's really cool too, I think a lot of people that follow you, I think that's one of the things. Like I love photography; it's amazing. But more than anything, like I want to know where to go.
Right.
Can people reach out to you and
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
instant message you and ask you where things are at?
the amount of DMs I get is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For location
Well,
access.
Absolutely, because that's what people come up here for. People
Right.
move here because I've talked about it after, after the and all that stuff. A lot of people moved away from here, and they're like, "Oh, well, there's nothing to do." And I'm like, "Okay, see ya." But it's because of stuff like this. Like people have to learn to entertain themselves.
Right.
And those that really like the wilderness, being able to get outside, go hiking, see these cool things.
Yep.
That's a huge resource for a lot of people coming up here.
Yeah. How far do you go to travel? Like, are you trying to stick pretty locally, or do you go?
Actually, this year I'm trying to go as far as up as the Arctic Circle.
Oh,
And
no
then
way.
I really want to go all the way down to the
Wait, isn't that where
South
John
Pole.
said you can't go?
No.
So Dead
Don't.
Horse.
Don't.
So you can drive all the way up to Dead Horse.
Okay.
You're trolling me right now.
I'm trolling.
You're talking about
trolling.
Antarctica. He said the Arctic.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
north,
Sorry.
Seth.
Sorry, I heard Arctic.
Stop.
Antarctica would be really cool too. Actually, I'd love
would.
to do that.
Don't.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. There's some conspiracy theorists out there. I can't leave it alone, Dave. I'm sorry. Go. And they say that you are unable to travel there.
Oh my gosh, dude! I can't
Because
even.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
not
get off
me.
the flat Earth thing, dude. It's
I'm not a flat earther. I am not. But we
I
know a guy that is.
I
And-
cannot
and-
get behind this one. Okay,
Okay,
I can't
all
get behind
all
it.
I'm not behind it either.
Do you travel? Do you think the world's round,
no,
or do you think it's flat?
It's round.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He sounds
Yeah,
100%
cool.
sure.
Yeah,
Well, we
you
know
know
a
why?
guy that's
Because
not
it's
sure, and it's not me.
Man, I don't know.
I believe the Earth is round.
Did you guys have a flat earther on your podcast?
Not yet, but we're looking for one.
We're looking for one. We're
Like
looking
a
for the moon
knowledgeable
landing.
one.
We want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, because
it's not. No, okay.
Don't go too deep.
I'm not going to go too
right,
deep.
okay.
Anyways, the Arctic Circle. So where at? So you'd obviously go up through Canada. What province? Where exactly would you want to go to get to the Arctic Circle?
I'll probably go up through like Banff, also Alberta, and up
Okay.
through
Nice.
the Yukon. Probably spend a few weeks in the Yukon before going up through. I don't know where you cross over, but it goes up to Dead Horse is like the place where I'd probably end.
Is that pretty? I mean, you have to do that in the summertime, I'm guessing, and it's
So
still.
you can do it in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
The roads
I'm
are
trying to build up
somewhat
my
passable?
truck enough to.
I saw you were posting about you're building out the camper shell
Yep.
in the back.
Yep.
That looks pretty cool.
Slow process,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun learning curve.
Yeah, that's
A
gonna be
lot of wildlife out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very-
See,
very
what I
different.
don't like about Canada is I know there are grizzlies up there,
So many. Actually, I'm gonna be passing right through.
and
the
I
grizzly
can't
hills.
bring a gun into Canada.
Yep.
That sucks. Like bear spray.
Yeah, that kind
maybe.
of frustrates me too. Not
It
being able to
frustrates
have a
me.
gun.
Just
You
like
can take a
Okay.
rifle.
You can?
Yeah.
Just not
you
a
have
pistol?
Papers.
Oh,
yeah,
you
you just
gotta
can't
get
take a handgun.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that's a lot safer. Good job, Canada.
Stick it in your
Yeah.
gas tank.
Yeah. I've heard too many stories of guys,
Plastic bag and duct tape.
especially if you look like a cop or are a cop,
Yeah.
that they will search your car coming because they're pretty.
Oh,
sure
they
you're gonna
searched
have a
mine.
gun.
Yeah. They went through all my kids' stuff while we were coming back from cheer camp.
I'm scared. I'm like legit scared of that.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine Canadian prison is rather chill. Like
Yeah.
everybody's very polite. And
Say a lot.
it's like a nice place to be.
This is nice. Yeah. So all the way up to the Arctic Circle. So what's the draw up there that you want to take photos of? Like what is?
I just want to go up there to experience it.
Okay.
To be honest. Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
so like that's so cool. I have this part of me that wants to explore, and I do like exploring. But then there's the other part of me that's like I can't, like this phase in life. I can't go for weeks, right?
Right.
You're at the phase in life where you can.
That's exactly what I'm doing while I'm young.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you don't, no kids, no. You just
Yep.
said you don't even have a dog, so you're like free.
Exactly. Yep.
That's amazing.
Just on my own.
I find myself slightly jealous of that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ultimate freedom.
That is cool. What's drive time to the Arctic Circle? If you were to
Yeah.
drive straight, like how many
3
miles?
days
is that?
probably. 4
Okay.
days maybe.
A couple thousand miles.
If I drove straight through, it's like 3,000, I think.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
not too bad of a
crazy because
drive.
I can get to the East Coast in 3,000 miles from here.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So it's the same distance, but north.
Exactly. Yep. And the roads are a little bit more rough.
So have you ever done photography? I know we obviously had those three big storms last year for like the Northern Lights, the Auroras.
I did actually do some Northern Lights photos, yeah.
Did you? How'd those go?
All right. It was my first time
Yeah.
photographing the Northern Lights, but they turned out decent.
They're somewhat, I don't want to say they're disappointing. They're phenomenal, right?
Right.
But photography versus what they actually look like in real life.
Exactly.
Major difference.
Yep.
That's what bugs me. Everybody's like, "Oh, look at this picture I took on my phone." I'm like, "Wow, does it actually look like that?" Well, like, no, you can't see it unless you use the camera on your phone. I'm like,
Right.
what the then? I don't want.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
That's only down here, though, actually.
Sorry.
If you go up to like Alaska,
Then you
definitely
can
see
actually
it.
See, that's
see
funny
it.
because when we had that big storm last year, we had some people down from Alaska, and they said this is the best they've ever seen it.
Really?
Yes.
And you said, I mean, you could see it with the naked eye.
You could see colors. You could absolutely see colors, but not like the colors on your
Right.
little thing over here. I don't know what
my
that's
little
called.
thing.
Your little mixer.
Mixer.
But I mean, it wasn't that vibrant, right? But I mean, you could still see colors. You could see some greens. Definitely on the horizon, you could see a lot of greens. You could see some purples, some reds. But
Were you guys here in Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Do
Dave
you remember
is
that
a-
last year?
Yeah.
Dave is
Okay.
a super nerd when it comes to aurora borealis.
I have always wanted to see these. My phone will freak out in the middle of the night if they come on. It'll tell me.
Oh, you got like the app and everything?
Yeah. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
trying to get me up. Like, come on, man. It's
In
middle
fact,
of the night.
that
Let's
was
go. I'm like,
okay. So that was the first time I was pulled over here in Coeur d'Alene. I was only here for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and there was something that said there might be auroras. So I took off driving. And I was in like a cut-off tank top, my shorts, flip-flops, and I didn't have my wallet. And I was driving north on Ramsey at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I rolled out of bed. I told my wife, I'm going to go see if I can find them. So I'm going north. I'm going 45 miles an hour. It's 35. And I get stopped by ISP.
It's good good news stop right there.
And I was in the academy at that time.
Oh, shit.
It was right before I started the academy. I mean, I was only here for a couple weeks, right? And he stops me, and total meth story. He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to look at the lights." And he's like, "What lights?" I'm like, "Yeah,
the lights in the sky.
there's supposed to be northern lights tonight." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "You know what speed limit is?" I'm like, "Honestly, I wasn't looking." He's like, "Anybody coming with you?" I'm like, "No, just me." He's like, "Do you have your wallet?" And I'm like, No, I don't have my wallet either. It's like, all right, let's start over here. What's your name? And I'm like, oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an awkward
10-5
conversation.
pat down. Like,
Yeah, damn it.
Turns out I don't have my
Of
wallet.
that, I didn't have any drugs. So, but
You were in
yeah,
flip flops in the winter.
yeah. No, it was in the summer. It was in July.
You saw the aurora in July.
I thought there was going to be auroras in July. I thought. It's my first time. It's like 5 years ago. It was at 1 o'clock in the morning in July. Okay. Anyways, get back to it. So, photos of the auroras is something that you're going to try and do while you're up there.
Yep,
Okay.
hopefully.
And what season are you planning on going?
End of the summer probably. So like probably mid-July I'll probably start heading up.
Okay.
What kind of wildlife? Obviously the normal stuff, but you're pretty far north. Are you polar bears? Are we that far north?
Yeah, possibly.
I'm sure that
It's
bear.
definitely a possibility.
That bear spray will be fine.
Oh yeah.
Bro. Yeah, you need
Break out the
to.
shotgun.
You bring a rifle, dude.
I have pictures of my friend up beyond the
Or
northern circle
shotgun
that
with
he
slugs.
goes up there as polar bear defense.
Okay.
And he's carrying like some slugs, and I mean those things. They're bigger than
Oh yeah.
grizzlies
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and more aggressive.
Yeah, they'll fuck you
So
up.
that'll be interesting. Yeah.
I don't know if they're a dead horse though. I think
I
they're
don't-
more
I don't-
up like.
Okay,
I
farther.
can't pronounce the name.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out.
I will find out.
That's cool. Okay. And then moose, I've heard, are way bigger out there too.
Oh.
Our guy Steve that came down here, that you flew the drone for on his property.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, he hunts. So he goes out right now. He's hunting for the entire month. Like they go out and they do grizzlies.
so
They
much
do
fun.
like all this stuff, right? He's a guy that you'd want to hook up with. He goes out in Alaska. They got a place up there, and they go out for a month at a time. And they go. I mean,
Dude.
he's shot like 4 or 5 grizzlies in his life. I mean, he goes, oh, grizzlies are no big deal. He's like, polar bears are the ones we're worried about. I'm like, really? What? I'm like, grizzlies scare the crap out of me. But he does that. But he said
'cause-
the moose.
Sorry, I was gonna say polar bears look so cute because they're
Yeah,
they're all fluffy and white.
No,
right?
no, they don't.
Yeah.
And but he said the moose up there. He saw a moose down here, and he goes, "That's a baby." It was the biggest moose I'd ever seen. Like, you got to be kidding me. He said the moose up there are almost twice the size. They're just
That's
huge.
insane.
Yeah, they're taller than cars.
Wow.
That is
Like
insane.
if you drive like a Prius, the leg limit, you could probably see the roof and still see underneath the moose.
Dude, that's crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so those are big.
That's big.
Okay.
I think
So-
I'm more scared of moose for sure
Yeah.
than bears.
My new 4570, I would take that all day long and drop any one of them.
You're suppressed 4570.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, you got suppressed too?
Yeah,
Nice.
It's really cool. It's my new favorite gun, but I'd be very confident with that on any of those. For
Actually,
sure.
I think I saw you shoot that.
Yeah,
on your Instagram.
I posted it. Yep.
Okay.
So where would you say around here, Danny? Like I said, to get away from photography a little bit, with you knowing the area really well in the outdoors, where would you say people that move up here that want to go? What would you say like are your top 5 places that you could go hike around here?
In Idaho?
Yeah, right out of Coeur d'Alene. I mean, within 30 minutes. Where could
30
you
minutes
go?
of
Yep.
Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. That's a hard one because I typically spend my time up in Sandpoint.
Okay.
But if
Let's just say North Idaho
Yeah.
in the Panhandle.
What's your gut? What's your 5
Sandpoint's
best?
fine.
5 best hikes.
Number 1, I'd probably say Romanos.
Romanos.
Romanos. So
Write
it's
these down.
up towards Bonners Ferry.
Okay.
And then you kind of head left at Naples.
Got
It's
it.
way up in the mountains up there. Huge snowmobiling playground up there and super fun in the winter.
Okay.
But overall, for mountains wise, that's definitely the best views. And there's
Okay.
like 5 or 6 lakes you kind of hike up to, kind of like
Oh, dude, I need to
together.
hit an alpine lake this summer.
Those are
I
cool.
That's an
definitely
easy
wanna
one.
do that. Yeah.
Yep. You can
Okay.
drive all the way up to the lake.
How long is is Romanos? How long is that hike?
It's probably like 45 minutes of driving up to the base, and then I think you can hike all the way over the ridge into Washington, actually.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. How long is the hike though?
Depends on which one you do. I think there's like 4 or 5 different ones.
Okay.
But I'd say the longest one's a few hours, probably.
Okay. Not bad.
That's not bad.
What else? What's next?
Probably, oh my word, what's that one lookout?
Scotchman's?
Scotchman Peak's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you guys done Scotchman Peak?
I haven't.
I have not. That's on our list this summer.
So I haven't done it either, but my buddy's done it, and he said it's literally you're just scaling a cliff the whole time.
I've
Okay.
heard it's amazing.
That's what I've heard
The
too.
goats and everything else they got up there. Have you seen that?
Sheep is it sheep or goat?
The sheep, mountain
Mountain
sheep,
goat?
Mountain
goat?
sheep.
Mountain sheep.
I don't know what the hell is it.
I'm actually
Mountain
not.
sheep.
Yeah.
Mountain sheep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go.
Looks like a damn goat.
Well,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't watch freaking Animal Planet. Anyways, there's a white animal up there with horns.
With horns.
And it's furry. So
sheep.
those are pretty cool. I hear there's people that go up there too and they like defend them. They don't let
You're
you.
not allowed to feed them or something.
Yeah, and there's some people that get up there and they get pretty crazy. to make sure that you don't feed them on accident.
They must be from out of state or something.
Probably. Yeah.
Whatever.
Idaho people feed them. It's fine.
That's why they're there. They're like, hey.
Right. They're
Okay,
hanging around
so
for that.
Scotchman's Peak, obviously, that's one of them. What else?
I'm trying to think of the name. It's a lookout.
How
In
far
between
is it
Hope
from-
and Clark Fork.
Oh, in between Hope and Clark Fork.
Yeah.
Okay. How far? Like, how long of a hike is it?
So you can actually hike. It's kind of like so you get to the lookout. And there's a trail that goes all the way down into some more alpine lakes, kind of like in like a little panhandle area.
There's a lot of alpine lakes up here.
There
is what
is.
I'm gathering.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't been to any yet. I love alpine lakes.
Yeah.
You gotta guys check out Roman Nose.
Okay.
It's a good place to
Okay.
go.
Good
Maybe we'll
start.
have to do that one.
Yeah.
You know what's neat too is like a lot of families will come up here and they want to do like a little day hike. They want to be a little more comfortable. The hike to the top of Schweitzer. You ever done that?
I have not.
So it doesn't seem like your thing, right? It's too many people, everything else, but it's actually a really pleasant hike. You go right up the face, you kind of zigzag back and forth, but there's huckleberries all the way up. So you're sitting there. Yeah, I mean, by the time I get to the top, I'm like stuffed, man. I ate so many huckleberries on
yeah.
the way up. That's
cool.
a beautiful hike, and it's a nice view, man. You get to
man.
the top, you see Pend Oreille, everything else.
That view from the top of Schweitzer is
Yeah.
fantastic on a sunny day.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
You guys snowboard, ski, or
snowboard.
snowboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, you guys aren't old. You guys are young.
Yeah, we got out a couple years ago. So we'll be going again soon.
I just
time permits.
I just sold my board yesterday. But
Did
I'm
you?
I'm
End
gonna
of
buy a
season?
new one. I'm gonna buy a new one with step-in bindings because I'm at that age
the
now
Burton
where
clicks?
I don't want to sit down into. Yeah,
What kind of bindings do you have?
I had just like Burton, like the Cartel, if you're familiar with.
I'm not. I've always stepped into my bindings.
No.
Another option?
They have some now where you like slide your toe in and step down and it locks it in.
Oh,
Like you don't
okay.
have to sit down and ratchet them.
Oh, I got it.
That's
I got
my
those.
biggest
Never
beef
mind.
with snowboarding is to sit down and do all that. It sucks.
Yeah.
I've heard sometimes they pop out though.
That's okay. I'm not going to be doing anything wild. I'm not doing any backflips or anything. I'm just cruising, man. Like,
Yeah.
give
It
me
is
a
a backflip.
Fair enough.
It's on accident.
Give me blues and greens all day, and I'm just cruise those.
Okay.
And I'm
No
happy to
double
be.
blacks?
Yeah, no. They're not fun on a snowboard. I don't care what anybody tells you. Double blacks.
So we got those three. What else? What other hikes you got?
Man, I should have wrote some down off the top of my head. It's pretty hard to think about random ones.
That's all right.
I do a lot of backcountry
okay.
hikes. They don't have names, so
Yeah.
Just go.
kind of.
So what apps do you use when you find these? Is there an app? or is-
AllTrails is a really good one.
AllTrails? Okay.
Onyx off road actually is a really good one.
Okay.
And Google Earth.
Got
Or
it.
just Apple Maps.
Okay.
Just go explore and just
Just
figure
kind
it
of
out.
just scan them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll spend hours just.
Do you typically
search
do
through
day
random
hikes or do you do overnight or what do you do?
A lot of overnights. Typically, it's like day hikes though.
Yeah.
But I prefer overnights. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I just watched that movie. What's that movie? It's about the grizzly maze.
The grizzly maze.
Yeah, it's like a place up in Alaska
Okay. I
where
don't
like
know.
you're
I'm not
guaranteed to get eaten by a grizzly if you go out there.
Oh.
Have you guys not heard of this?
Wait, is it the guy that's the kind of crazy and weird about grizzlies? The documentary? No.
No, it's actually like a full-on movie they made about
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay.
But actually, I forgot where I was going with that.
But that's up by where you're going?
Nope.
I'm driving straight through there to get to Dead Horse. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He was going right through that area.
Maybe that's where he's going with that.
Oh, I was going with the overnight backpacking thing. Is I watched that movie. My buddy showed it to me. It's like a thriller grizzly movie, and I'm
yeah.
a little bit nervous to go backpacking this year now.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
My dad, when he was in college, I think, he hitchhiked from the East Coast up to Alaska with his buddy.
That's a dream of mine, actually, to do that.
And they were hitchhike? Yeah.
Or hop trains.
Yeah. Either way, hey, that's fine.
You're fine.
Bring a gun.
Nobody cares.
And they were up in the somewhere far north in Alaska in eternal sunshine area, and he said they were camping in a tent and there were grizzlies all around. And I was like, oh, dude.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I know you're probably pretty safe, but I just don't want to die. There's a few ways I don't want to die. One is sharks, one is grizzlies, and one is in a barrel of acid with the cartel. So those are the three. Like, I just don't want to go out any one of those ways. So I see that. I'm like, dude, at least Alaska, you can bring whatever gun and have some protection.
True. That's true.
And I think that's one of the things, when you talk about like hiking and all that stuff, I mean, I don't want to see your name on a bulletin board one day, but people that go out by themselves, I mean, that puts you at a lot more risk, right?
Yep.
So kudos for you for wanting to do that. But there's also a lot of people that like, man, going out in teams and groups and everything else and being able to carry a firearm or something to at least protect you. I have no qualms about anything in this area, especially when I'm going hiking with somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, without a weapon, without anybody else with you,
I take bear spray, and I have a 9 on me, but
Yeah.
not going to stop a bear, but
Yeah.
But
Well,
that-
it'll be different when you're in Alaska too.
Exactly.
When you're in Canada. So
Put that G9 ammo in there.
That's actually what I have.
Yeah, good.
Actually,
That stuff's
Matthew told me to get some of that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with G9 Ammo, they're local here in Post Falls. You had them on the podcast.
Yep.
Phenomenal ammunition manufacturer up here, and they have some bullets that are, man. That's what I carry in all my 10 millimeter for bear protection and everything.
Ballistic gel penetration on their 10 millimeter is like 42 inches or something ridiculous. 9, I think, is actually really close. We talked about the difference when the owner was on here. And either one, I think you'd be fine with. And I'm fairly confident the 9 would drop a bear, almost most bears, maybe not a polar bear.
So when it comes to like hiking stuff, and you put G9 bullets in your gun, what is the difference? Like, what makes it more likely to kill a bear versus the other one?
So the hard cast, they're like a solid copper round, and it will just over penetrate. So you wouldn't want to use it in a self-defense situation at home because it'll punch through all your walls and hit whatever on the other side. So the theory is you can shoot it in the skull. It'll actually punch through the bear's skull instead of deflecting off. Like if you shoot it with a hollow point, it's going to get caught in the fur or it's going to bounce off the skull.
Just hit it like a BB gun.
Yeah. Basically.
You'd probably be better shooting a bear instead of a hollow point using just a straight lead round.
Yeah, absolutely. You would.
Right? Just blunt force.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, I've seen hollow points get stuck in thick Carhartt jackets, which is very similar to a bear's hide. So yeah, that's the thought behind it. And they have their external hollow point. G9 has 2 rounds, and then they have, I think they call it the Outdoorsman or the Woodsman or something. You want that one.
The Woodsman? I think that's the one I have.
Yeah, that's the one you want. It's pretty flat. It's got like a tiny little nipple right in the middle. And Joshua, the owner,
That's exactly what I have.
Said that little point is to help catch it. Like if it hits a skull,
it doesn't bounce off.
Yeah, it'll keep it from skipping off as much. So yeah,
it's gnarly. And
they're gnarly,
man. When you load that 10 millimeter, I hold 15 rounds in my Glock. It's heavy,
dude. But I would be very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Against
worth the extra safety.
Yeah.
Dude, it's gnarly. 15 rounds of that, man, I could pop those things off. I mean, it's gonna hurt something. But I think, bears up here, a lot of people are really worried about them. I think black bears, for the most part, they're so small and they're kind of skittish. Unless you come across a mama with her cubs, you're not gonna run into them. You're not even gonna see them, or they're gonna run away. Mm-hmm. Brown bears can get huge.
Yep.
They can get big. But then the grizzlies, man. That's we've had quite.
You see those pictures, dude. The paws on those things are fucking enormous.
Yeah, they're no joke. So we wish you the best when you go out there. That's pretty cool.
Are you gonna document the whole journey and like post it
as
live?
much as I can? Yeah.
Okay, because that'd be cool. People can follow along and be like, "Oh, he's here."
Yep.
If a grizzly starts coming at you, please go live real quick.
Just
I'll just take a selfie real quick.
Yeah.
No. How do you? Okay, so that was a question. Starbat. How do you plan on going live and everything else when you're out in those areas and you don't have internet?
We have the solution
Yeah,
for you.
You got to bring a Starbat.
Starbat?
Yeah.
You haven't heard of them?
What's a Starbat?
So you know how they have the Starlink Mini, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Starlink Mini, pretty much you can get internet just about anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Well, we have friends who put together what's called a Starbat. It's a radio transparent, like Pelican case, where the Starlink Mini mounts to the inside, and then you have 24 hours of internet. 24 hours with a battery on that thing. That's if you run it completely, right? You probably wouldn't run 24 hours straight. But it also has a solar panel.
Okay.
And so you take that and you go out there in the wilderness. It doesn't matter where you are. You have instant access to internet. You can connect your phone to it, everything else like that. So if you do any sort of live streams or anything, that thing's going to give you whatever you need.
Sounds kind of heavy.
It's in a Pelican case like this big.
Oh, you're not talking about me taking it backpacking, are you?
No.
Oh,
no.
On your drive.
On your
drive.
Oh, okay.
And I just had a thought. I bet you have such a big Instagram following. I bet if you reached out to them, they're friends of ours. We'll connect you with them. I bet they would be interested in sponsoring you.
Get a little sponsor?
Yes. Because that would prove,
or at least give you one to take up there for the week.
That would prove their model, right? Like this thing works anywhere.
Yeah.
And it would be super beneficial for you to be up there and have internet all the time. That'd be cool.
I like kind of
cool
badass
connection.
on my truck too.
Yeah. So that's what they have. They actually have a mount for the top of your vehicle too, where you can put it up there.
Yep.
And then it locks in and things waterproof and it's freaking amazing.
We did a
Very
podcast episode with them a couple months back, and very, very cool thing they did. And they're both local. They live up in Blanchard. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Blanchard's nice.
Yeah.
I like it up there.
Yeah.
Blanchard's cool.
You know what? I recently switched my tune about Blanchard because for a while I was like, and I just did a video up there last week, and I was up there on a beautiful day, and I'm like, dude,
It's not
I
bad.
get it. There's not much there.
There's
right?
not much going on. Yeah.
Until you go on that Stone Ridge golf course.
That is a
and
nice golf
There's it's a lot of really nice houses.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot going on there.
Oh, the hot tub and everything.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away, and I was like, okay, all right, like I can see the attraction.
There's
now.
there's still a lot of good land out there.
Yeah.
It's decent prices.
Yeah.
There was a home recently. I just had another agent. She's like, "Oh, I have somebody under contract for 1.4," and I'm like, "1.4 out in Blanchard?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Man, you're probably blazing trails right now at that price." Because I'm like, "Man, I haven't seen anything out there for 1.4 before." That's
that's
yeah,
a lot.
That is a lot. Typically, you can get. I mean, you can get 5 acres with a home over there for under $1 million. Quite
That's
often.
crazy.
out
The
in
prices
Blanchard.
nowadays.
It is
It is.
crazy. Yeah. Did you
Man.
grow up here?
I grew up, so like, you know where Newport is?
Yeah.
So I grew up right up on Canada.
Okay.
Right up on the border.
Okay.
So this has all been just normal for you since. Okay.
Yep. Grew up going to Priest Lake and everything. So
How old were you on your first solo hike?
first solo hike
When you took off by yourself overnight?
overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably was 18 or 19. I wasn't that
Okay.
young, but
Okay.
my parents made sure I was safe
Yeah.
until I turned 18.
Where was that? Where'd you go?
That was out in Sullivan Lake. That would have
Okay.
been. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
People don't realize how much water there is up here.
So
it's
much.
crazy.
Yep.
I mean, there are like literally lakes everywhere.
The nice part is they're all nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
haven't
90%
swum.
of them.
Yeah.
I would love to hike up to an alpine lake. Big John and I were talking about doing this year. You should go. Do a little fly fishing when we get up there, catch some trout, eat lunch, hike back down.
I'd be interested to see the fish that you're going to get up there.
It'd be very tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they don't stock those lakes.
No.
You know what I mean? So I'm interested to
There's
see
hardy
what
mountain
Right.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
We'll see. I got to catch them first. But it's the idea, right? Even if I don't catch fish, I don't care. Like,
So what do you eat when you're out there? Do you bring food? Do you hunt?
Yeah, I normally bring food.
Okay.
Some backpacking snacks.
So you're not that rustic then. You're not like
No,
just
no,
like
no.
you're not shooting grouse and doing.
We did eat squirrel actually 2 weeks ago.
How was
Which
that?
was so gamey.
Was that with Matt?
No, that was with another buddy of mine. Matthew was mad that he wasn't there,
I could see him doing that.
but it was
Yeah.
super gamey.
Really?
Really bad. Yeah.
Okay, even turkey. Even wild turkey is gamey.
It was worse than wild turkey.
We did
It was so bad.
We did our Thanksgiving.
You made that good. You put a lot of effort
Dude,
into it.
I brined that thing. I had it on the Traeger. It had all this like maple butter, like freaking.
Oh, you didn't
my
eat
God.
raw?
Huh?
You didn't eat it raw?
No, I did not
We
eat
just
it
ate it
raw.
raw.
Oh my God. So, you did not eat a squirrel raw.
No, we just cooked it over the
Okay,
fire. No
thank
seasoning
you.
or anything though.
God,
No
okay.
seasoning.
Nope,
I've had
just
squirrel
straight
before, and it
squirrel.
was okay, but I seasoned it up.
Well, dude, the turkey, we had one store bought and one wild. He shot a wild turkey. So I got this thing. I took care of it, man. I babied it. We put it on there. I took one bite. I was like, it tastes like shit. This is terrible.
You probably made it as good as it could.
Dude, I'm like, this, really? Oh,
I ate a bunch of it. I thought it was all right.
I was
It tastes
bummed
like
out.
stringy too.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was, and it was like even the leg. Like when you cook a normal turkey or a store bought turkey, like you cook it and it turns white and it's like gold. And this one still looked like flesh.
All brown.
I'm like, what? I mean, it was like almost purple.
it was
all
all brown.
natural.
Yeah, and the skin was very thick and tough on it.
Oh my god,
Probably
so
better
much.
proteins.
Probably, it was
Yeah.
probably way better for us.
Yeah.
But man, eating it, you're just like you didn't have the taste buds.
And
Ready, oh,
it wasn't a huge turkey by any means, but it's still like by the time I plucked that thing, it was like a chicken with really long legs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of effort for
dude, it was
hour of plucking.
It was good. I mean, I would do it again, but I would just I would probably dabble in the other
just
one. a
have
little
somebody
bit
else
too.
prepare it.
Yeah, just try some of the other one.
Sure it wasn't your
taste out
cooking?
of my mouth.
Deep
It
fry.
wasn't my cooking.
Maybe deep frying it would be the way to go, dude.
We could try that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't my cooking. Dude, I make like the juiciest turkey. In fact, the year before, I hate turkey. I can't stand it. And the year before, everybody in my family who doesn't like turkey was like, this is like the best turkey. I spatchcocked it. You ever spatchcock them?
I don't even know what that means. Sounds kind
Oh,
of
you got to
weird.
cut the spine out.
Okay.
You turn it over and you break the breast. And so it like kind of flares out. Just makes it easier to cook. Makes it even. But I had my son this year. I told him, I said, hey, you got to pull the guts out of it. Did I send you a video? No. I told my son, I go, hey, dude, you got to pull the neck out of its ass. It's in there. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they stuff everything in there.
How
the
did
giblets,
neck get
all
up
that
its
stuff.
ass?
So,
There's
yeah.
no way.
What?
Did he actually?
Yeah. Yeah, he went in there, and I'm like, dude, you got to pull it open. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get your hands bloody and dirty. You just got to get in there. And so watching him pull that out was one of the funniest things, man. He's like, what's this bag? What's that? I'm like,
Why is there a bag in the turkey?
yeah.
Yeah, that's store bought, buddy.
Dude, it was funny. It was hilarious watching him do that. Anyways,
Wait, how old is he?
he's 17 now.
17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grew up in California, though, so
from
obviously-
California?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, he grew up there.
I would have never expected that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The first time we butchered chickens, we were up here, and I told him, I was like, get your stuff on. I was like, you're helping. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. And freaking just take them over to the log, chop their head off, let them bleed out real quick, and then you toss them on the table. That person would cut them open. We didn't even defeather. We didn't take any of the it was all white meat. It was breasts and legs. Super quick. And we had like 30 chickens. And it was like a conveyor belt. You just threw them on there after they were dead, and then one person would just cut the skin right down the breast, pull it open, diagonal cuts on the breast, toss them to the next one, and they turn around and cut around the legs, pop the legs off, toss it over, and then somebody else would take them and clean everything, and then the other person would throw them in a bag and then throw them on ice. They were in ice, like still like moving.
Oh, wow.
But it was
That's
like,
awesome.
I mean, it looked just like, your chicken breast you get at Costco, and it was that quick. I mean, you went from full-on chicken all the way to in a vacuum container in the ice within like 5 minutes.
Full-on assembly line.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Once I move back to my property, we're doing meat chickens.
Yeah,
I just want to be able to stock my whole freezer up for the year.
Yeah, I think 30 chickens. We were almost at 300 pounds worth of.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, but they're weird. Like those meat chickens are like bred that
They're
way.
like dinosaurs.
They got huge breasts. They're like walking over. They're like breaking their legs when they're ready to be.
These
like,
are your chickens?
No, they're our friends. But when they're ready to be slaughtered, they are like, they'll be walking around, they'll just break their leg because they're just too heavy. I mean, that's when you start realizing, like, oh man, they're dirty, they stink. They're not like your chickens.
Sounds like typical American chickens. You know?
Yeah. And then, but they're delicious.
They are. Yeah.
You guys eat bear?
I have.
Bear sausage.
You guys do
Yeah,
bear hunting, or-
bear sausage. No, I've never been bear hunting. Eric, our partner, does.
You get your tags.
Yeah.
Season's
Time,
here.
huh? Yeah.
About a week ago.
I'd have to really commit. I'm so busy right now that trying to get out and go hunt.
That's
Much
fair.
better
That
chance
is
just
fair.
going out and going hiking and camping. I could probably do that.
That's been my issue every year. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go hunting this year, and I don't.
It's very
It
time
comes and I don't have any time, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I get a day here or a day there.
Yep.
That's not how you're successful.
What's our sportsman pass up to? It's like $178, something like that.
I got no idea.
I haven't
think
checked.
I think it's around $180 for a
under
sportsman.
200 for sure.
Yeah. So in Idaho, if you are a resident for at least 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to be a resident for 6 months. You can get a sportsman's pack that is a fishing license for I believe 2 years. It's 2 turkey tags. It's a whitetail, a blacktail, cougar, elk. What else is there in there?
Wolves. I think there's a
I think
couple
there's
wolf
wolf,
tags.
coyote. Eric,
Um,
I'm in a podcast. Let me alone.
oh, Eric's
Yeah.
in Hawaii right now.
Anyways, you get it. You get just a
It's
total.
a crazy deal.
It is, and if you come up here and you just try to do elk, what is an elk tag? Like $550.
If you're out of state, it's way
out
up
of state,
there, yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Which I'm good with. If you're up here visiting, and that's
Yeah.
what it is, but save it for people that are local. But yeah, the sportsman pack is great.
Yeah.
You're not gonna break the bank getting that for sure.
Yeah, I'm working on getting a I can't remember the name of the foundation, but it's a wolf foundation but preserving. So they pay people out for wolves that you kill. If you kill a wolf, this foundation will pay you. Gosh, I want to say it's like almost a couple $1,000 because they're trying to preserve the elk and deer populations.
Yeah.
So
So they'll pay you not to hunt?
they'll pay you to kill the wolves.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because Idaho actually has a pretty healthy wolf population. I think over 2,000.
Yeah.
And they a lot get killed every year, and humans are one of the only things that are other than natural causes that are keeping the wolf population at bay because they will wreck elk and deer.
Yeah, when the wolf population was reintroduced, I have to look it up to fact check me here, but I believe it was in Wyoming or somewhere around Yellowstone. The wolves were reintroduced, and they actually changed the path of a river.
I've heard that
Because the elk and everything else would come down and they would eat up all this grassland and everything else, and they stopped doing it, and it actually overgrew and actually moved the river a certain direction because the wolves came back. Like, they do have an impact, so they have to be managed in some way or another. So do you hunt currently?
Every once in a while. I'm
What do you
going to just
hunt?
go with my buddies and film it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What have you hunted?
Elk, bear, deer,
Okay. Do you guys bait for bear?
No.
No?
No, we just go out and hope to find one.
Just wait until the dire wolves get out, Dave.
I was about to say something about
gosh.
that.
Dude, did you listen to that Rogan podcast?
That's pretty cool.
I did.
It's mind blowing
excited.
to me. I was just talking to a buddy of mine last night about it, and I'm like, holy shit. So if you don't know, there's a company out there. I can't remember the name of it, but they brought back the dire wolf, which has been extinct for thousands of years.
Yeah.
10,000.
Yeah, and they're enormous, and they're in a 2,000-acre preserve somewhere in the north of the U.S.
Oh, is there more than one?
Yes, there's
3.
three.
Oh, wow.
And they've also brought back, or I don't think they brought back, but they're rehabbing the red wolf, which I think is in the southeast in natural habitat. They're a really pretty looking wolf. But the dire wolves are no joke. They're freaking jacked.
They're big.
And I'm like, I think they're going to get out. Like,
So
they're going to get out.
here's the thing. I can wolves, bears, that's cool. What I'm afraid of is when these fools start coming, they want to work on a mammoth.
No, I'm all about that, dude.
You want to go out into the forest and find a mammoth?
Deep connection. Yes, I think humans and mammoths have a symbiotic relationship, dude. I think there's a deep connection there.
Yeah.
Where
does it? Because the second that I go out hunting and I have to carry a gun for a saber-tooth tiger, I'm not okay with this.
I don't think
That'd be
mammoths.
At
so
some point,
cool,
huh?
That'd be so cool.
I
It
want
would
to
be.
see one in my life.
Your last photo would be incredible.
I don't know if it's like that.
The last
I
one.
don't think they're aggressive. I mean, I have a lot of experience with woolly mammoths
I'm talking about saber-tooth tigers right now.
Oh, what? I thought we were talking about mammoths.
Yeah, I said, where does it stop? And then I
Oh
went to
no,
saber-tooth tigers.
They mentioned the tigers, and I think they are going to try.
Those are aggressive.
I
Just start with
imagine,
the
dude,
T-Rex.
but I want to see one.
Tooth is that big.
Tooth like that, be amazing, dude.
Yeah, they would go right through you.
Oh yeah, just right through the spine. Quick death at least.
Anyways.
At least it doesn't eat you from the ass up like a grizzly bear would.
My question is, how does it get his mouth open wide enough to get his teeth out?
I've always wondered that too, actually.
They said they were talking about. I think they said their jaw unhinges like a snake,
Oh, so it goes
and
like.
they can get really wide.
Wow.
Yeah, which is even more terrifying.
I was gonna say, because imagine they go to eat and and it just like keeps hitting their face because their teeth are too.
Yeah, how do you
big.
eat with a giant tooth?
I think they don't have to get that. I can figure it out. Anyways, so I am completely lost. As to where
Sorry,
we are.
you got
We
talking
went-
about wolves, and I knew
We
I was
went
going to go there.
way,
I knew I was going to
way
go there.
off.
Talk
So-
about the Game of Thrones wolves.
Yes.
Well, this will be cool. So, watching you do that stuff and having your Instagram, I think the big thing for a lot of people that are new to the area is trying to figure out where you're going. Because a lot of it is within drive time, right?
Yeah.
At least a day or so.
Yep.
And so those are, I think that's the stuff that there still is a lot of wilderness out there. People get too caught up with, I brought up hikes. There's a lot of them that I can talk about, like Mineral Ridge and, Schweitzer and Scotchman's Peak, but they're well-known hikes. And so they're really well-traveled, and those are what people are used to. But then there's a lot of this stuff where people don't realize how much wilderness there actually is out there.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time to the east of Coeur d'Alene, like behind Canfield Mountain out in the national forest over there.
Dirt bike riding.
Yeah?
Mainly.
Okay.
But not much
So-
hiking.
Not much hiking over there? Why not?
It's more fun to dirt bike over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done some overnight camping over there though, like
Yeah.
truck camping. But
Okay.
I love North Idaho because even if you can't get out to those places, right? There's so many great spots that are super accessible in Coeur d'Alene. Even Tubbs Hill, right? Some people will be like, "Oh, it's stupid," but it does get crowded sometimes. But if you hike that early in the morning, I used to do it 3 or 4 times a week because I lived close to there. Springtime, those big yellow flowers. I can't remember the name.
sunflowers?
Something. No, they're like arrow something. Anyway, these big, beautiful yellow flowers that pop up, and they're all over the hillside in Tubbs Hill. I mean, it's gorgeous. You're right along the water, so that's super accessible for people that can't get way out in the woods. No. And then, Mineral Ridge is close by.
If you do hike
Canfield.
Mineral Ridge at dusk. Right at dusk when the sun's going down, that is like the best time because you have a full view
Crazy
of Lake
view.
Coeur d'Alene all the way across to the west, and you can see the sun. Oh, dude, it's amazing.
I've actually never been up there.
Really?
Where's that one?
See, it's too close.
It's
for
like
him.
too
It's got to
easy.
be a little. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
2 in town.
It's like an hour hike.
Okay.
Super easy though. You go right around. You get off on Wolf Lodge, go around the lake, and within 2 minutes you're at the parking lot there. But the views, like I said, when you get up there, there's a couple benches and you can view directly to the west. Man, when the sun's there, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And then we've got Rafter Mountain. I haven't hiked that, but you did.
I've been
didn't
on
you?
top of that one, yeah.
In jeans.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be. It said it was 4 miles. I was on
It wasn't?
AllTrails.
Okay.
Not 4
They're not
miles.
very accurate
No,
sometimes,
it
yeah.
wasn't at all. And I was like, well, let's do this. It'll be like, an hour, and I'll just kind of go
No
up and come
water.
back. And I'm like a couple miles in, and I'm looking, and I'm like, no. Yeah, I hardly brought anything. So now I'm just like, oh. So, I was just in regular jeans, and,
It was supposed to be 4 miles both ways?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's supposed to be 4 miles round trip, and it was
Okay.
not. I think I did 13 miles or something
Oh,
like that.
shit.
Yeah. It was not. So
That's
but it was
way
pretty much-
off.
Yeah, it was. It was way off. Wasn't happy about that.
You sure you weren't kilometers or?
What? No. No. 13 miles. But it was beautiful.
Have you ever done much back up in like Bumblebee? So up over 4th of July Pass and then up the Coeur d'Alene River?
Towards Montana?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not much. No.
Okay. It's real pretty up there. That's a great fly fishing area.
Yep.
Up on
I've
the
done like
Coeur d'Alene
the
there.
Hiawatha Trail.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
I keep meaning to do that this summer.
When you say you did the Hiawatha Trail, just
On a
the
bike?
bike area or like the whole
The
thing?
biking trail, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad actually did it too, and when you go through the cave,
Yep.
you don't have headlights. You need to have a headlight.
Oh, yeah.
He went in the ditch and
Oh, shit.
yeah, crashed pretty bad.
Oh, good to know.
It's a good ride. I rode down and then there was a super long line the first time we did it. We got down there. It was going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hours before we got to the top. So, they had so many people down there and they only have so many buses. And I was like, let's ride back up.
Buses.
Dude, so we rode back up to try to beat everybody back up there. Oh, man. It was exhausting.
So that's another
rode back
18
up the
miles.
road?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds like something you would do.
that's a new one.
It was cool. I was pretty exhausted, though. I remember I had one of those very, very clean LED lights strapped to my helmet. And, it's like literally, it's a perfect circle. You know how like with an old like halogen,
Yeah.
like you can kind of see like a breakup? Well, you couldn't with this. It was just light and dark. And it started to blend. As I was going through that tunnel, all of a sudden I couldn't see anything. Ooh. All I could see was the little flash on the back of my buddy's bike, and I'm just watching that. I could not see anything else. It blurred everything. It was creepy. Weird. I was exhausted. Oh yeah, but that is really cool. The Hiawatha, the old, train grade, 2%,
I don't know. It's
something like that. But
nice.
going through those tunnels, the first one's like 1.5 miles long.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
very
that's
cool.
pretty damn long.
You haven't been through it at all?
No.
Oh gosh.
We were going to do it last year, and then Hudson broke his arm, and so, yeah, we were out.
And then he couldn't pedal a bike. I get it.
Yeah.
Was it- how long ago did you do it?
Hold the...
Huh?
How long ago did you do it?
I've done it probably 4 or 5 times.
Recently? The buses. That sounds new to me. I don't remember there being.
Last year before. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
How did
pretty
you
new.
get back up?
Oh, we camped. So like we camped. There's a campground on the other side.
Oh.
We stay down there for.
No,
a few
dude, you
days.
ride your bike down and then they'll pick you up in a bus. They throw the bikes on the bus and take you back up.
I didn't even know that.
Oh,
Did not
yeah.
know that.
There's a bus.
Huh.
Yeah, it makes it pretty easy. But the Hiawatha Trail is a really cool thing. Our buddy's got an Airbnb out there and they advertise it all the time. It's a big draw, in, obviously, in
Yeah.
Wallace. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll do it this year.
I'm
We'll
down.
find a day to go do a video up there and go take people through it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Get some drone shots. That'd be cool. Okay, what are you doing now? So you said you're working for Matthew?
I'm working for Matthew. Yep.
Cool.
Doing sales
Videography?
for him.
Oh,
And
wow.
videography.
Okay,
at
cool.
the moment before I head out.
Yeah.
So,
But that's kind of nice. So you've got a date in mind, and you're just
Yep.
prepping your camper, and then you're going to hit it.
Yep.
I like it, dude. That's pretty cool.
What are you doing? So what specifically are you selling for Matthew?
I sell food brands. Like,
Okay.
newer food brands.
Nice.
So,
It's like the
fun.
meat we ate?
The healthy,
Yeah. Yeah.
healthy stuff.
Cleaned.
Yeah.
Actually, one of his new clients is actually TJ Dillashaw. That's one of the people he just got.
Who's
on
that?
His,
is
he's
he a
a
football
two-time
player or
UFC bantamweight champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, UFC.
Nice.
I should know that.
Pretty big dude.
Does he live up here, or you guys sell all
He's
over?
from
Oh,
California.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We sell all over the United States.
Okay.
So, a lot of calling. Like, a lot
Where
of
does,
calling.
where does he get all the meat from?
Meat.
Don't you guys sell meat too? Is that what you said?
No, he said healthy food.
Oh, no, I was making a joke about the meat you guys
Oh.
eat.
Whatever.
Ash covered meat.
We
Yeah.
sell like organic products, like natural products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like?
Healthy energy drinks, healthy jerky, healthy protein bars. You know.
Can you get those drinks for Dave?
I love
Absolutely not.
No.
these. What does this have in it that's not good for me? Other than sucralose. I know that's not good.
I think it's got some shit.
See, I'm a salesman. So,
Yeah.
so I don't read the product. I just as I go.
These are actually pretty clean, man. The reason I started drinking these is they don't have any dyes in them. They don't have a lot of that stuff. Everything's natural caffeine.
What's it sweetened with?
It's sucralose. That was the one thing that I was like, man, I'm bummed out because it has that and it's not stevia or something.
It's like, why? Why don't they just...
I know.
Why?
I don't know. Probably
honey
cost.
in it.
Probably cost.
It's got to be cost. Like, I would pay more
Oh, 100%.
for something pure, right?
So you would pay more, but
Other
who else
people
would pay
might not.
more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a market there. I don't know. I tell you I cut caffeine for a week, which was a crazy experience. I've been addicted to caffeine since I was like 14, so
Oh no.
30 years of caffeine. Yeah, I was like, I got to take a break, man.
It's nice, isn't it?
It was the first 2 days were not nice. I had a raging headache, but the next 5 days I was like, okay, like I'm good. And then yesterday I had my first drink of caffeine. I just had tea, like a high calf tea. And then this morning I didn't have any when I got up, but I just had a coffee when we got here. Yeah.
When's the last time you drank?
I'm gonna alcohol.
Yeah.
Last night.
Did you have some? Oh man, it's been like 3 weeks. I haven't had any.
Yeah, I had wine. It doesn't count, right?
Wine.
Yeah. I've got a buddy that my buddy Joey. He sells. He's an alcohol rep, and he gets the good stuff. So yeah, he had good wine.
Why have I never met this guy?
I think you have.
You never told me about him.
Yeah.
I would have known if you were like, oh, I have my buddy. He sells.
You've met him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's bald like us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you guys bald for like on purpose? Or you guys actually like bald?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Good
I
question.
choose to be.
I choose to be bald.
Yeah, I could grow my hair out pretty good if I wanted to.
No. You'll find as you get older and the stress of life starts to beat you down.
Comes out of your hair.
It comes out.
I have all my hair. It's just all on my back now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You migrated.
Idaho style.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't grow hair at all.
I can only grow like the cul-de-sac, I
can
believe
do
they
that.
call it, right? Which
That would look
is not a good look, apparently. I don't think the ladies are into
These
that.
guys
My
have been
wife-
trying to get me to grow my hair out, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
it would
like a
look
little
I
so
told him.
bad.
I
over
told
your
him I would do it for a month because people keep bugging us, like, do it for a month, and I'm like, I'll do it if you do it, and he won't do it. I'll just wear a hat.
I would look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings if I grew my hair out. It'd be so bad. No, dude, if I had there's a picture of me. You should put that on there.
Stringy.
The picture of me with the hair.
Oh,
When Kelsey put that together. I look dashing with hair.
You do. That's
I like
when you
dashing.
call me.
Yeah.
That's the picture.
You
So
think you look good with hair? Oh, dude, my long hair, I look good.
when I share your contact photo from my phone, like that goes.
Is that
with
what's
it.
in there?
Yes. So I'm like, oh, here, call Dave. And they're like, they expect this guy with these flowing locks.
Dude, it looks so
And
good.
It does look good.
Or did you have, like a wig on?
No, she like did AI or something and put hair on me,
okay.
and it looked like Fabio, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
dude. I was like, I really
Van
like
Halen
it.
style?
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
My wife is like, no. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
She liked you with the long hair?
No, she did not. She would not let me do it.
Yeah. I started losing my hair in my early 20s, and then finally, like close to 30, I was like, man, this needs to go.
Just bring out the cop.
Yep.
Yep.
Done. Shaved it.
You've been bald for 20 years?
Yeah. Pretty much. Imagine how much I've saved in haircuts.
That is
When
true.
you look at it that way.
That is true.
And now they're like $30 plus a tip. So I'm saving big time. Yeah. I like it.
That's why I can buy these.
That's why he can buy those.
That's why I got this nice hat. North Idaho experience.
Cover up
Perfect.
the hair chunks.
Yep.
Well, Danny, hopefully people can get a hold of you and follow your Instagram and stuff. Like I said, I think it's really cool that you're a resource up here, especially with the photos. Just kind of show people the beauty that's out there, and for people to be able to jump on and to follow you. Like I said, I encourage people, if you do follow him, to reach out and find those places, because I would love to be outdoors more. And it sounds like you're kind of the guy to go to for stuff like that.
Yeah. What's your YouTube channel called?
Same thing.
Okay.
Just Danny T.H. Cook.
Danny
But-
T.H. Cook.
Yeah.
I always, in my mind, when I read it, I feel like Danny the Cook. But
I
it's
see
probably
it
not
every
what it
time,
stands
And
too.
for.
actually,
Yep.
I get so many texts about that too.
Yeah.
They're like, are you a cook? I'm like, no.
Well, then
But
I know
I'm
why.
cooking.
Because yeah, you got some shit cooking up. Yeah, so we will link his Instagram and YouTube channel in the show notes so you guys can find that. Yeah, man, we should do a hike this summer. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
You
I'm
can
down.
take us. Cool. And then I can't wait to watch your journey up to the Arctic Circle.
Yes.
Should be.
Let's get you linked up with Starbat and see what we can do.
Yep.
That'd be pretty
I'll
cool.
make that connection for you. Cool. Well, Danny, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's been a
Yeah.
good time. We will catch you on the next one. Later.